What's up, MPX addicts, and welcome to the MPX Rehab. I am your host, the hashtag Certified Mark J. Williams, here with my co-host, as always,
the voice of the MPX addicts, Kyle Smith.
And this week we have a very special treat in the fact that we have the one, the only, the Tommy Becker here in the studio with us.
Hi.
You had a heck of a weekend last week.
I did. I'm very sore still.
I'll bet.
I'm hurting.
But yeah, this week was a very special week, at least for me, because I actually got to kind of live a dream for a little bit. I actually got to call the show, so I apologize to anybody who watches on the network.
You had the supposed best seat in the house.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. The refs say that they do. So
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, it was a lot of fun, even with Jamie, yelling at me because apparently I was too far from the mic.
He wasn't the only one. No, it was from the clips I've seen. It was fine. It's nerve-wracking. It's hard. I mean, you're not only is it a dream, it's also something that it's no offense, it's not trained for. Like we aren't trained for this. Like again, like I always joke. I don't know why I have a mic. I don't know why people listen to me. It just happens. And that's something where. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Hopefully one day I'll get that too. But hey, we made the choice, and I was not in the right mindset. I haven't been in the right mindset for a month. So, you do it, and that was great.
Yeah, honestly, I'm hoping that if I do get another chance at some point, and I really, really hope I do, because that was a lot of fun, that, actually you can come with, and that way, we can do what we
they definitely won't have both of us there.
It's like, guys, we only have like 5 minutes for a match. You're taking 10 minutes to talk. Shut up. But no, definitely, I learned a lot just from doing that and listening to Tyler, who, give him shit for being a heel and everything like that. He knows what he's doing.
Oh, yeah. And that's someone who was trained. And even when we had him on the show, we even talked about it, how commentary and play-by-play is so different, yet he is one of those that he meshes it well together. Same with Cody, when Cody used to do him by himself. Mm-hmm. It's, again, one of my favorite commentators and play-by-play of all time is Joey Styles, because it's someone who I don't think people realize how hard it is to call a show by yourself. It's
like heck. Yesterday I was doing my Certified Mark Gaming first episode of that one by myself, and I'm talking everything from the tech to just sitting here. And yeah, no, it's hard to keep any kind of narrative going for any length of time. Having to do it 2 hours, call the action, all the shots, and he was doing other things. Man, if you didn't respect Tyler beforehand, respect him now, definitely. Yep.
And I'm gonna need Gabe and Sky to stop yelling in the chat. I have a migraine, so y'all yelling it doesn't help.
But let's go ahead and start getting to the matches. Let's start with the dark match, which actually was really cool because one, it was the Iron Belly, so I'm happy with that. And two, we got a new wrestler there.
Is that 3 in a row? Huh? Is that 3 in a row?
Not in a row, no.
Oh, okay.
Remember, Phil had the week before.
That's right,
yeah. Yeah. This time he was taking on Cam Walker of Only Cams. Apparently, it's a tag team from out in Florida where they're both named Cam.
And I liked it. I thought it was cool. I wouldn't mind seeing more of Cam, just because, again, first time we saw him, had a good look. I enjoy the Only Cams. I thought that was funny and clever, and given what era, century, whatever we're in, it's cool. Market it. Go ahead and make sense.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things with that, like
he had no ups.
No, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, luckily Alex is strong because it didn't look like he went up for shit. So
yeah. Iron Belly had to lift the man himself, and let me tell you, they're not too different in size. But then again, this is the guy who at warehouses would have his coworkers telling him, "You can't lift that fridge," and then he lifts it, walks it over to where it needs to be. Just proves them all wrong.
Yeah, but like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing more of him. I thought he had good. Like I said, he had a good look. He had good interactions with Iron Belly, good charisma, everything like that. Just it's maybe. And again, we know nothing about him, so maybe it's training. Maybe it hadn't been around long. I don't know. But yeah, it was. I wouldn't mind seeing him again. I like giving people at least a handful of opportunities.
And this is why you're done with Max Beckett.
Exactly. I've had a handful of opportunities, and I'm done.
Oh no! Oh no!
That happens. He's got people he likes and people he doesn't like. Unless they're a ref, then he hates them right off the bat.
Hey, at least I give him a handful. You only gave that. What was that one guy? You only gave him one, and you're like, nope, done. Rivera was it? What was his name?
Yeah.
Okay, Rage. Rage Rivera. You hate him.
Yeah, no, I won't lie. There was some personal, stake in that one too. But that's okay. I've heard other people badmouth him too, so I'm just like, oh, not a lot of good.
And now everyone's yelling, "Yay!"
It's the Barbra Streisand effect. But then after that, we started the show proper, where Exodus Prime took on a returning Zero, and you should have heard the crowd just wow. You'd have think that he won the match already just by walking out. Unfortunately, he didn't win the actual match.
But, well, no, I mean it's Zero.
No, actually, that was one of the things that I thought was really interesting about this one. Is usually you have the point in any Zero match in which everybody's hot and behind him and everything like that all throughout the start of the match. Then it turns around and he starts losing, and everybody just it dies. But people were just so happy to see Zero again that they didn't really lose any steam.
Oh, they were so happy right after a dark match. I went to have my smoke before the intro video and everything, and they're like, "No, you want to come back?" I will. Like, I'm going to come back. The intro video hadn't even started yet. I'll be back. And yeah, it was nice to see Zero. We haven't seen Zero in forever. Despite that either being him, booking, management, whatever. He's one of those that's always a fan favorite. He's a crowd pleaser. As soon as his music hits, it's one of those where who it is. And he's to me, he's talented. And again, I'm fucking nobody, but Zero is one of those in the ring. No matter who he's against, he makes them look amazing. I mean, I think a lot of people need to remember this is the man that was Remedy's first opponent, and he made Remedy a guy at MPX that people wanted to see again and again and again. Zero is one of those talents that he can not only get himself over, but he can make his opponent look amazing too. And not that Exodus needed help, he made Exodus look good.
It's like we talk about starting the show with a hell of a match, and this was actually a hell of a match because yes, we've seen these two wrestle before, but this one was just it felt different than the last time, even without the belt.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one of those where again, anytime Zero's here, fans lose their mind. And yeah, it could be part because we don't see him often, who knows, but it's one of those where people love Zero. It's one of those he's one of those that's hard to explain because there is just something about him that people like.
You have to watch him, and a lot of times you have to actually be in the building to watch him to really just feel the energy that he gets from the crowd and he gives to the crowd and everything like that. So win or lose, we love Zero. Great to see him back. And honestly, Exodus, the start of his night was just because then we had that video afterward where Gabe was talking about how he's going to be in the Addicts title match later, and Exodus just didn't have to say a word, and you knew exactly what he was saying.
And that's the thing. Is Exodus wanting the Addicts title, or is he just wanting Jerome or Chady? Sorry, what is his major mindset to you? To me, I think he enjoys wanting the title back. I think he enjoys keeping it from the fans. There's others that are saying no, he wants Jerome. So
it might be a little column A, a little column B. I mean, especially since some idiot called him Dollar Store Jerome Daniel.
Oh yeah, who did that? Yeah. Who would do such a thing?
I don't know. Goodness. Somebody who has a death wish, I guess. I don't know.
That just adds to your chop total that Gabe gives you. So
yeah, I guess. But then after that, we had the match with Corey Constantine, who apparently he called out Brixton Shaw, which I thought was interesting, and especially with Brixton having been on the show saying that now that he's turned away from civil disorder and now he's face again, he wants to take on anybody and everybody. So seeing this was this is exactly what he wanted.
Classifies as Corey, right? He's everyone and everybody, so it classifies.
Yeah.
Corey fits the mold and the standard.
Yeah, definitely.
A little bit weird, but he fits it. This match I was excited for it because I knew it'd be good. Because when we had Brixton, he had talked about he was going to do things a little different. He wanted to do a different style. He wanted to be more of that kind of Japan style. So we saw a little more of the strong style. We saw a little more technician out of Brixton, which is what we all wanted. And it's good to see him doing what he wants.
Yeah.
And Corey is one of those, with the exception of that one time, he's been fire every time we've seen him. And it sucked not having Jinx there, because she does add to that character a lot, I think. And that may be a little biased, but
just a little bit.
Maybe just a little.
I mean, you're right still, but it's just
I was
a
gonna
little
say
biased.
it may be biased, but I'm still right. Damn it. And it's like that she wasn't there, but it's still, we saw a very different side of Corey. We saw a more aggressive side, and we saw Corey go in there, and he's gone in there against top talent, don't get me wrong, but he's going in there against Brixton, who, when he came in, immediately became kind of like a favorite and became a powerhouse of MPX. And he's a former MPX champion. And, you know, Corey took it to him, and Corey got the win. And that was shocking, but also super excited to see where we're going with this now. Because, I mean, honestly, does it hurt Brixton to lose at this point? No, not really.
No.
Does it do wonderful things for Corey to get that win? Yes. So I'm super excited to see where we're going with this.
Yeah, because I was going to say, it's like during the show, I actually said that, you know, I was like, well, they both need a win because neither of them can really afford to lose this match to keep their momentum. But honestly, yeah, no, Corey winning puts him back on track, on some momentum and everything like that, especially after the losses he's taken lately.
Yeah.
But Brixton, he's, turning face made him just super over, super hot.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Even when he was with Civil Disorder, and even when he was heel, so to speak, or whatever, he was still very much over. People loved Brixton.
He was the one people wanted to turn on Civil Disorder to begin with, because it's like, no, we want him to be the hero.
And yeah.
But yeah, Corey Constantine coming away with the win on that one. It was pretty cool. After that, we had probably the most chaotic part of the whole night. And I gotta say, from the seat I was in, this was a hell of a lot of fun. in that we had JD Griffey defending the MPX Addicts Championship versus Gabe Wilder and Johnny O'Mara. And this match was, it was actually kind of interesting because it felt like, Griffey had his story, but he was a satellite to the story that was in this match.
Yeah. And I think that is great on MPX management. That's great on Jerome, knowing where we're going, what we want to do, and how it's going to play out. Like, again, I've said it before, triple threats are one of those to where it can easily become clusterfucks. Anytime you're throwing extra people in a match, it can be bad. And it wasn't. It's laid out beautifully. It's laid out good. All three men did very well. It's one of those where, yes, even last week I said I really wanted just a singles match. Gabe and Jerome, I think, would kill it. And that's no disrespect to O'Mara. And O'Mara came in there and he did well. Yeah. Like, O'Mara is one of those where it's been hit or miss lately, and this one he was on. It was a hit, and I liked the beginning to where they always kept Jerome out, focus on each other, keep Jerome out, focus on each other, and then Jerome finally had enough and took it to both of them. And again, it doesn't matter when you're in there with Jerome. Like he even says, it's tap, nap, or snap. One of those are happening. So it's great. And then I like this where we've gone. I think this is the third time now it's been triple threat.
Second time.
Second time. So I mean, that kind of seems the MO with the Addicts side right now. It's always going to be multiple men tend to check out Jerome, which honestly makes sense when you look at Jerome's history in MPX. When you look at everything Jerome has done, it's going to take probably multiple people for him to drop that title.
Yeah. But
or one Exodus, one of those.
But yeah, no, what I liked about this was the fact that, like I said, Jerome felt kind of like he was a bit on the outside of this match, even though it was his match, because, you had the history between Johnny and Gabe, and they played that out nicely. It's like they all both wanted to win the match and get the belt, but they also wanted to beat the ever-loving hell out of each other. So,
yes. Well, and because there's also, the little small history with Johnny and Gabe. So everything made sense. Everything was great. Everyone knows how much I love rugged Gabe Wilder. He's, I think, one of the best ones we have at MPX as far as knowing what to do in the ring, the psychology, his mechanics, his in-ring work, everything about him is, to me, great. And it's one of those where even even where he's lesser in as far as charisma, he's still good at. Because it fits that whole rugged MO. So yeah, it's great. And then it was one of those I was a little, I want to say disappointed, but I was a little shocked. Exodus and Kari, and they didn't get involved because it's built right there to where if they get involved and then Zero gets involved and then JD somehow sneaks a victory because there's all that chaos.
Yeah,
it was there, but it wasn't, and it was still a clean victory from Jerome, which is also makes him amazing.
Back from the armchair booker thing, how I would have booked it, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And
we did get.
But again, it proves why we're wrong because what they did is amazing.
Yeah, no, it's because then you had JD calling out Exodus, and Exodus didn't even wait. There was no music, no nothing. He just came out and they just went to blows, and the whole locker room had to clear out just to break that up. And there were a lot of times in which I'm sitting here going, there are people actually getting hit out there.
Oh yeah, there was live rounds, which was great. One of my favorites was the fucking security guy that got choked out and then thrown on the stage. I was like, holy shit, that one looked bad.
Red, stop spamming our chat, please.
That's why I didn't go out there.
You're a
yeah,
smart
no,
man.
I noticed that the guys in the main event were not out there at all, and I'm just like, yeah, that seems like a smart move.
Well, and let's be honest, and no offense to you, but that's Jamie and Brant knowing. We're like, hey, let's keep our guy. Y'all don't need to go out there.
But it's a fight.
No, it was too violent.
Yeah.
Not the violent type, are you?
Not before a main event title match. No, I don't think so.
But yeah, I gotta say that made what I was doing a whole lot more fun. Just the way having to call that one.
Yeah.
Although I like the fact that Tyler's like, Jay, what did you do? Aren't you supposed to keep a hold of them? Like, no. Charles is the one who's the guy in the back.
Yeah, Charles and Silver Sword don't get along either, though.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, apparently the only one Silver Sword like is me, so it's fine. Yeah, they tolerate. They don't they tolerate.
It's like is very.
And I was gonna say if it wasn't for Gabe, they wouldn't even tolerate me. So.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a hell of a match leading through the intermission and coming back from the intermission with just the two of them still going at it. Awesome moment. And then we had the tag team match for the tag team championships, in which Mayhem Mafia basically showed that they are no one to,
Mayhem Mafia ain't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah, like
they're also for the children, by the way.
Apparently, yes. Oh man, that was actually my favorite part about that fight. It's like, wait a minute, guys, this is a family show, isn't this?
No,
nope.
We're past 9 o'clock. We're good.
Yeah. But throwing F-bombs out there left and right at each other.
Well, yeah,
but
that's what you do.
Yeah, Mayhem Mafia taking on Red and Mikey B. This match, Red had a certain kind of viciousness to him that, he's just mad at the fact that, now he's lost 2 tag team partners and the belts at the same time, and he's just done with that stuff.
He may have lost a third. Fuck.
We'll see.
I mean, it's one of those where it's, you don't be Red's friend. It's dangerous.
Yeah, there are some people that is like, they're nice guys. It's just they're surrounded by this aura of just don't.
And I didn't realize my comment got so picked up where Matt kicked the shit out of Mikey. I was like, that should have been you, Red. Yeah, didn't realize that got heard. But
yeah, that got heard.
No, I love Red. Everyone knows that. Red knows that. I enjoy seeing Matt and Red fight. It's one of those where it's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I could see them fight forever.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those where the chemistry they have is amazing. I also, I enjoy Matlock's roughneck style, that whole Texas strong style, Japanese, whatever. Because again, you can't. People pay a lot for chiropractors, but for Matlock to kick the shit and then elbow your spine back in, I mean, it makes sense. It's great. Yeah. You can't. It's the cheapest form of chiropractic.
He's doing a service.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's doing great for everybody on that one. But yeah, Mayhem Mafia retaining the titles, and now we're going to have what's going to happen next week, and I'm looking forward to that. I know you are too.
Oh yeah, of course, because we all love tag teams.
And it's something we've been begging for over a year now.
Our little mini tag tournament.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, and I also have noticed, and don't think I haven't noticed, Red. You every time Matt locks in the vicinity, you're keeping a shirt on. You know, so
This
you
is
need
smart, man.
no. Take that off.
He needs to borrow Tatum's chop-proof shirt.
Yeah, I don't think that worked that well.
No, but, you know, it'll be interesting to watch. But yeah, then that led to match number 5, and Mad Prince, how you doing, man? Feeling okay?
Oh no.
Oh, because that looked bad from my angle at least. Kari Wright taking on the Mad Prince, and this match, Kari going for the early attempt at a win by attacking him even before the bell, and just wow.
Well, and it was again, it's one of those where we talked about I want to see Kari more and more and more because again, it's one of those where we said it last week before Exodus appeared. Kari was that guy. Kari was going to be that future star. Kari was going to be that one that everyone wanted to work. Kari is a phenomenal talent, and getting to see him more and more and see him show how good of a talent he is, I love.
People are just now noticing Bean.
It's been there the whole time. I mean, she blends in the table, I know,
but yeah, no. Honestly, I loved this match too because I made a whole thing about the coattail rider and everything like that, and that was a lot of fun because that let me, you know, be the taunting face and everything. But no, Kari Wright is nobody's coattail rider. He is, you know, and honestly, I'm glad that he is starting to break out and starting to get into singles matches and kick that ass that he can kick.
And again, Matt Prince is one of those great foils. Well, we knew, like I had said last week, to me, next to the main event, this was going to be one of the best matches, if not the match of the night, because these two men are amazing. You've got the Mad Prince, who obviously charisma out the ass, just amazing character work, everything, and you can see him even changing a little bit. And when we talked to him, he even said he wants to do more of a Mad Hatter type gimmick, and that's what he's doing, and it's great, and it's working, and everything about that is great. And then you got Kari, who's not necessarily stepping away, but he's coming into his own as far as where he was with Silver Sword and everything like that. And we're seeing the side of Kari that we always knew was there, but we're finally getting to see it.
Yeah.
And then in the ring, it's magic. It was great.
Yeah, and honestly, as chaotic as it seemed this match was, Kari coming away with the win on this one. You know, with Travis not being involved in this match because apparently, you know, he can't be trusted when it comes to these two.
Well, it's true. Yeah, he's not biased. Which, yeah, we had the ref I don't like, but he did okay this week, so I'm okay. He did fine. Like, it was all right. You know, unfortunately, things happen, and this is what we had.
COVID shuffle or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Bingo.
Oh, COVID bingo. Right? Yeah. Holy carp! Congratulations, you got like that one of the highest views I've ever had.
Okay.
So it's true. People do love the Becker.
Yes, definitely. They're looking forward to this. And now we're actually getting to the meat of the whole show, in which we're going to talk about the main event.
Yes.
Your match with Casey Clay.
Okay, here we go.
It's like this match. Holy crap! I mean, I made comments about how this is not the same match that the two of you had at the beginning of Casey Clay's career.
No.
You've come back strong from your injury, and he has learned and gotten better. And, you know, not just the mentorship from Brent McKenzie, but also just he himself has gotten a whole lot better. So getting this match between the two of you was it was something special.
Well, yeah, it was, I definitely needed this. The first 2 weeks were probably just getting back into it, but this one, I got that feeling again afterwards where I was like, I couldn't sleep and I was just too amped up. I was like, yeah, I definitely needed that. It was really good.
Yeah, the match was amazing. And again, it's like I've said before, it's the most athletic man in MPX, which is you, versus the probably one of, if not the most athletic man in MPX since you were gone. The chemistry y'all had was like immediately there, which was kind of, because again, it's wrestling, so it's kind of shocking whenever people have that, and it fits so well. And then everything about this was great, from you and Jamie coming out, and then Brent and Casey coming out. Just everything that has built to this, which I even said last week, I want a longer build. I want, and again, trust the process. I get that.
I was going to say, it's like, it looks like we're getting that long.
Yeah, I know, and we're going to. It's just one of those where I thought it was too soon, but man, it was such a hell of a match. It was amazing. And
Gabe, there are children in the chat room, sir. Sorry.
There's not. Remember, they talk.
What is?
Uh-huh.
Now remember, they like to say all the
God.
time they're not children, so we don't treat them like children. Remember?
They're 12.
Can we kick Gabe out here?
I can't because he'll just come and attack me on
I see.
mainline. It's just not.
Oh well, in that case, yeah, go ahead and do
No,
it.
no.
But no, that's the thing is the match itself we knew would be great, and it was. It was phenomenal, and like on Casey's post when he posted the drop kicks, it was art. Like everything they did was fucking beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Even Jamie and Brent on the outside, everything was great about that.
Yeah.
The finish I loved because it's one of those where it's the only way it can end, kind of, because I want that build, I want that match, I want it to keep going. If you win, then he gets a rematch, but it's still kind of over. If Casey wins, then yeah, it's definitely over. But to have that where both shoulders are down, it was beautiful. And then everything, the aftermath, everything about the aftermath I thought was great, from your reactions to Jamie on the mic to Brent and Casey teasing. Just
Hell,
it was done so beautiful.
I'm sitting there with a hammer on the bell. I was like, okay, what do I do? He hasn't called for anything. What am I supposed to do here?
Yeah.
No, so yeah, it's one of those where we've seen it before. Like Casey and Tommy Dean have had phenomenal matches. I think they're on 3 now, maybe 4.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, having you and Casey continue and to go more and more is going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, definitely looking forward to where that's going to go. Especially,
you're definitely not done chasing, right?
I hope not.
Told you,
I hope
told
not.
you he'd be over here later. Hi, Rocky.
You can't see.
There's a dog in the crotch. It's okay.
And here's the dog, yes. This dog doesn't know a stranger. They don't exist to him. Okay, I guess I'll get out of the way so you can get your time in. Yes, hi. Jamie Aller, basically just, I loved even if it's directed at me, there's nothing more entertaining to watch than Jamie Aller trash talking somebody.
Be honest, that was a highlight moment in your life.
Yeah.
He went right after you.
Oh yeah, no. That was like I'm just sitting there going, it's like, okay, look, I'm already anxious as hell. This is not helping, Jamie, but at the same time, yeah, no, you're right.
And that's the thing is, like, yeah, he's doing it, and yes, it's getting laughs, and it's there to do it, but it's also to make you better. Like, it's weird. Jamie likes us for some reason, so it is to get us better.
It's like I was able to look past and see it's like he did say, move the fucking mic, and it's like I didn't even know that was a problem. It all sounded fine on the monitor.
Jamie doesn't drop F-bombs, sir.
Yeah, no.
That's a classy man.
Yeah,
never.
Man does not believe in F-bombs, not at all. But that was an amazing main event, and I'm looking forward to what we're going to build to, going forward from that, because what you're going to be involved in, see if they're going to have you, go right back for it, or if they're going to make you wait for, I don't know, a bigger show like the Rumble.
That is coming up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're about a month out now, so
We'll know.
But next week, Catching Fire, like we said, Kyle and I are getting our wish granted because
kinda, not really, but kinda.
We're gonna have a tag team tournament. We're not gonna say anything as to the specific teams because no specific matchups have been announced.
Because nothing's been announced, so we don't know.
Yeah, just a collection of people on the poster.
Right.
And if you know wrestling posters, what's on the poster does not always translate to what's on the show. Card subject to change is a saying for a reason, but it's going to be a set of 3 matches, one with team versus team,
Team A versus Team B.
Yep.
C versus D. E versus F.
Yep, and the winners of those matches will have a triple threat match later on in the night.
1, 2 versus 3.
Yep, in which the winner of that match will go on to the Texas Rumble to take on the MPX Tag Team Champions, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be stopping all tag team title defenses until then.
Maybe not. We'll see.
Before.
Yeah, they've done it before, but we'll see. Because I feel confident Mayhem Mafia keeping those. I mean, it's Mayhem Mafia is one of those, and it's the same every time we see Dylan. I want to see him more and more, and I would love to see him even singly without Matt. Yep. He gets in there, and it's just impressive. Like even, and yeah, we're going back a little bit, but in the match where he was catching Red and Mikey and just throwing them with ease, I think people tend to forget how good Dylan actually is. And that's because we don't see him a lot. We only really see him in tags.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd love to see more singles matches with him. And I'm fine with him having the tag matches right now because, he's tag champion and it's a heck of a story and everything like that. But yeah, I'd definitely like to see him break out more on his own as well.
So I looked away from the chat and now I'm coming back. Why are we saying fire?
Catching fire.
Oh, okay. I was like, if we get a flaming table, I'm all cool for it.
No flaming table.
I was going to say last I knew, the building said no fire, so yeah. I'm curious. Okay. Shit, Bambi infiltrated everyone?
Yeah, no, it's like as soon as Bambi's in the chat, it's just it pervades everywhere. But yeah, definitely looking.
Have you ever tried to smoke with Bambi? Fuck.
I don't have to try to smoke with Bambi. Man just walks up and I'm already got the munchies.
Some of the greatest times you're hanging out with Bambi.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that show. And so considering that we don't have a whole lot to talk about with next week, let's go ahead and get to the man of the hour, the Tommy Becker.
Oh,
thank you very much for coming on.
Absolutely.
So of course we're going to start with the typical starting question of what got you into wrestling.
What got me in? Well, the first thing I ever saw in professional wrestling was in 2007. It was the contract signing for Vince McMahon and Donald Trump. That was the first thing I ever saw.
When once upon a time he was cheered.
No, I was I don't know. I was a young boy, and I was on a road trip for hockey. And
oh yeah, we're definitely talking about that later.
Sure.
Yeah. I was gonna say I love hockey, so
yeah. It was we were on the road, and one of my teammates was a fan of wrestling, and he just turned it on, and that was the first thing I saw. I think the first match I saw was right after that. It was like Melina versus somebody else. So I don't know how McMahon and Trump got me to stick around.
Yeah, that's a very weird starting point.
But after that, I mean, since that day, I have not stopped watching. And so, yeah, I don't know what got me in. After that, I became obsessed.
Hey, that's actually pretty cool.
How did you discover and come to MPX?
Well, I decided I want to be a wrestler, and I was looking up schools, and MPX was the first one that popped up. And unfortunately, when I emailed them the first time, that was when they shut their building down. So they had the old building, and then God, how long was that? It was like 6 months. 6 months.
Yeah, give or take.
So what I will say is he directed me to DFW All Pro. I emailed them. I got no response. So I waited the 6 months. I got the email back from MPX, and I started there once the new building opened up. And that's how I got here to this very table.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember because when I moved to Maine, they had just closed the building. And so I'd follow on Facebook here and there, and you were one of the first ones that kind of popped up as like the newer people coming in.
Right. Okay.
And I remember when I first came back, the first time I saw you was a Hateful Eight match, I think, for the Prospect title.
God, that was a mess. Oh my God.
And that was the first time I saw you, and because everyone raved about you, and I'm like, all right, let's see. And yeah, I could see what they're talking about because you were kind of that 92, 93 Shawn Michaels. You were just that cocky chicken shit heel that didn't do much, but when you did something, it was meaningful and you made everyone look great, and then you would win by doing the least amount possible.
Which is always great.
Yeah, which was great. Because like I said, that's Shawn Michaels being one of my favorite, and that's immediately what you reminded me of was that 92, 93 Shawn Michaels, along with the selling ability of like Kurt Hennig or Dolph Ziggler. So I got why people were talking about you and everything like that.
Awesome.
And then it was shortly, maybe 2 months later, I think you and Ryan formed.
Yeah.
Larger Impact
That's actually
players.
that's actually one of the next questions. The Impact players larger than life, and what started you teaming with Ryan?
So I don't know if you guys remember that they used to do like Friday shows, not the themed ones,
right?
But the
Friday night fights.
Yeah. And originally it was just supposed to be like guys you wouldn't see on the Saturday shows,
right?
And Ryan had maybe had 1-2 matches, and you were still coming out to Danger Zone. He had the orange pants. I had the pajama blue pants. It's like it was bad, but it was just randomly. No, that's true. It was just a rant. It was the first Friday show we ever did, and Kirby just put us together because we were training together, me and Ryan. And we had pretty good chemistry in training, and so he just put us together. And I mean, we walked out there, and we were just like, it was just instantly like we knew what to do with each other. Like we didn't have to talk about anything, like entrance wise, anything like that. Like we did the jacket thing. Oh, we didn't talk about that. We just did that. And Richard was at the show. He wasn't doing anything. He was just at the show. And he saw that. We got to the back, and he was like, "You guys are a team now." And we'll bring Jamie into this. He was there too. And then we got to the back, and he came up to us. "I'm your manager now."
Yeah, I loved his story. We talked to him 2020, and he's like, yeah, he came back because he saw you guys and was like, I need to take care of this. Yep. I need to do this.
Yeah.
No, I remember I was there. You and Ryan were supposed to have a match against each other.
Yes.
And like halfway through, y'all stopped. You're like, no, we're friends. And then the vignettes came out with the bathroom or whatever. And then I think a week or two later, y'all were a team. And then after that, Jamie came, and it all started clicking. And then you had Dave added, and just
actually that just came up, and then Dave Sagan joined.
Yep.
Well, of course, his name's mentioned, so he's gonna be here.
Wait, is he here? No.
I don't know. I'll be surprised. I would not be surprised if he started watching, honestly, because he likes to come in and mess with us, and he's like one of his boys is here.
I do miss Dave.
Dave watches just about all these.
Yeah, at some point or another, he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. So Dave, I'm gonna say, me and Ryan were by ourselves for I don't even remember when Dave showed up. Because he moved from Philly.
Yep.
And
he was the crooked ref.
He was the crooked ref. And he'd be at training, and the three of us were just connecting. And so while he was doing the ref, because that was the whole creative control era. And it was a massive group. It was me, Ryan, Jamie, Dave was the ref.
Yep.
We had Richard. We had Mike Fox.
Yep.
It was
I think both Mackenzies joined eventually.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. It was creative control was a huge thing.
At one point Kirby joined when he had the
greatest human being alive.
Yep.
I remember one time we came out, and it was like we were coming out of the curtain just one by one, and it was just a huge line.
It's like the NWO.
Yeah. But after that, Dave he started wrestling.
Yep.
He was done with the ref. I don't know when he joined, but I think it was around the time we were gonna bring in Justin Credible.
Yep.
And it was Credible, James Johnson, and Joey, right?
Yeah.
And so we needed a third. So we got Dave. And he just stuck with us. Like, I'm glad he stuck with us, but I don't remember like having that conversation of like, hey, you want to join us?
And you were gifted with the Impact player's name.
Yeah.
Which I was not. I mean, we ran with it, but like that's their name,
Right.
And like he said, Credible gave us the name, which okay, but it was tough when we went to Philadelphia.
Jeez.
We're like, yeah, we're the Impact players. Like, what?
That's a good way to get instant heat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that was difficult, and that's where we started thinking about maybe trying to go away from that.
Yeah. Because y'all even had the music and everything.
The exact same music.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was we were Lance Storm and Incredible. It was bad.
Wow.
Good, but like, the name was bad.
When I guess what was it like working with someone like Credible and everything like that? Because we've heard Dave's side.
Dave's horror
How much
story.
did he tell? Did he tell the second story?
He told the story of when he got yelled at because of Justin.
Oh my
Accidentally not knowing that apparently convenience stores sell tall boys.
God. Oh, what do you got in that brown bag? The first time was great. It was a 3-on-3 tag match, and easy. I mean, he was the pro you'd think he would be.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a good match. I don't really remember too much about it, but yeah, it was just because I think he was really the first big name that's been on TV that I worked. Well, I worked Tim Storm really early in my career, but besides that, well, yeah, someone didn't show up, and they threw me in. And it was because he was the champion, the NWA World Champion at the time.
Yep.
Wow.
And I think they kept it as a title match.
So you've had an NWA title match.
I did. I mean, it might have been match 6, 7, or 8. I was lost because I went. Yeah,
Charles Murphy actually has a great way of saying this. The best ability in this profession is availability.
Yeah. I think it was Mike Fox. Like something happened and he couldn't be there. It was supposed to be for the title, and I was there for a training session before the show. I wasn't supposed to be on the show, but you know, I had my gear. I was there. I looked good in the training session, and they're like, "Sure, kid, sure, go face Tim Storm." And
Okay.
it was for the title, and he did not beat me.
Oh.
APOC caused it was a no contest. So Tim Storm did not beat me for the NWA World Championship.
That seems to be
Nice.
the way you get your titles lately. Because then you had you never really actually got beat by Scott McKenzie later on.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
And then you took the title from him.
Yep.
Technically, you weren't beat by Casey Clay. Casey, your time's coming.
I don't lose titles. I give them up. What were we even talking about?
Working with Credible.
Yeah.
how that was.
So yeah. So yeah, the first time was great, and then I remember like I had a great picture of me like with Just Incredible on my shoulder, and I was like pointing to him, and I was like, okay, here we go. And then the second time came around, and you know, stuff happened. Dave, how much did he tell? Did he like? Okay, I don't
I'd have to
know.
go back and listen to it again, but he
No,
told a lot.
Yeah, I remember him pretty much telling everything.
Okay, well, Credible was going a little crazy.
Yeah.
Had some beverages.
I'll
sure.
never forget that. I think that's the one where he like threw a trash can and ran outside, and Jamie just looked at Ryan and goes, "Go get him." And Ryan's like, okay.
Well, I don't know if you know about this, but when he threw that trash can, he hit Ryan's mom.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
You didn't know about that?
I love that story.
It wasn't like a direct hit, but like it hit Ryan's mom. And we didn't know about that until afterwards. And like she was fine, like it didn't like crush her or anything. But yeah, Ryan's mom would kill Credible. She's a tough one.
Nice.
But he was wild. I mean, we did not start putting that match together till the match before us was halfway through.
Wow.
And this was it was like 4-on-4.
Yeah.
It was DTF, right? So
Yep.
it was 8-man. And we just decided to do it. It was just gonna be a regular 8-man, and then once it was kind of known that this was not gonna go well, we just turned it into like a ECW
Yep.
and that's where the trash cans got involved. I don't remember doing anything in that match except for just watching what Credible was doing.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at him and being like, okay.
I was gonna say I don't remember much either. Just my one vivid memory is Credible already bleeding from self-inflicted, I think.
That's how it goes, yeah.
And threw the trash can and runs outside, and Jimmy just looks at you and Ryan and looks at Ryan and goes, "Go get him."
Oh my God.
That is like my only memory of that match.
Yeah, I don't have much memories from
and
that.
And then hearing Dave talk about it, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that totally makes sense then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Justin wasn't all there that match.
No. Well, and that was the one where it was, I think, 2 days before he had just had an appearance in Connecticut that didn't go, or a week before that didn't go well. And I messaged management. I go, "Hey, is he okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, we reached out to him. Everything's fine." Okay, cool. And then we hear Dave sound. I go, "Well, he was fine until Dave apparently had to F it up." Dave didn't babysit well enough.
Yeah, it's all Dave's fault.
That's the story we pretty much gathered.
Well, yeah. Well, and then we saw Credible when we went to Philadelphia.
Yeah.
We were on a show, and he had no idea who we were.
Remember, you gave us the name?
He gave us the name. Like, he passed it down to us. But I mean,
how was the CZW experience? How was that?
CZW. Let's see. Because yeah, we trained there for like, I think we were there for like 5-6 days total.
Mm-hmm.
We trained there for like maybe 2 sessions.
And the Tommy Dean has shown up.
Oh no! Oh no!
He puts himself as the Tommy Dean.
Oh my God! What an intro message too.
That's copyright infringement.
Did he actually change? Okay, what?
Classic Tommy Dean.
Yeah, we need to have another match, by the way.
Yeah,
Tommy
definitely.
Dean.
No,
Yeah,
definitely.
But let's see, what was I? Oh, so yeah, CCW. Yeah, we had like 2 training sessions there, and they were both really good, eye-opening stuff. And because I think at that time I'm like maybe a year and a half in to wrestling, and so let's see. Yeah, we went to like 2 other shows. I was kind of annoyed. We went to it's a 24-hour drive to Philadelphia, and I think it was maybe the second show we had to do was like in Rhode Island. It was like a 6-hour drive, and I'm just like, why did we go? It's like, a lot of driving. I mean, that's expected, but
Well, and that was the thing. Like when I lived in Maine, I always thought was interesting is how I could go all these different shows.
yeah,
And yeah, there's 6 hours or so, but they're still different states. In
Yeah,
Texas,
yeah.
man, I'll drive 10 hours, still be in Texas to a
we
show.
go. I mean, I've done the Corpus show
Yeah.
7-10 times. That's
Yeah.
a killer. It's like we're still in the same state. It's like, that show's fun. But, yeah, CCW. I mean, we went to one of their shows. I don't think we did anything in the show, but like it was cool to like watch.
I'm pretty sure y'all were on a Dojo Wars, I think.
We were. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that was a part of CCW.
Yeah.
That was an interesting show.
'Cause I think I remember seeing DJ Lariat. I think it was Ryan. I was like, oh, I figured that'd be the other way, but okay. Or at least see Ryan
Right.
give a Lariat, but
yeah. And what's his name? Jimmy Lloyd. He's, I guess, getting pretty big now in the deathmatch scene. We did a 6-man tag, and he was one of our opponents, and he wanted to give me this crazy suplex. And he shows up, and he's in pajama pants, literal pajama. I said, like I used to wrestle in pajama pants. Like what he was wearing was actual pajamas.
yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not about to take this suplex from someone who's in pajama pants on a Wednesday night. Because the shows are like on Wednesday nights. And
Oh, so that's why you never talked to me at training. That makes sense now.
oh my.
Sandman wore pajama pants. It was fine.
Well, no, like for actual shows. Like, I'll talk to you in pajamas. I don't have anything against pajamas. But we're about to wrestle, and you're in pajama. He showed up. He has a pizza box, and he's chugging pizza, eating pajamas. He's wearing pajamas, and I'm not about to take this from you, like, because I didn't know him at the time. Like he started to get a little big right after we left, so. he was telling me what kind of move it was, and Ryan's behind him. He like moved into picture, and he's like, he's behind Jimmy, and he moves in, and he's just like don't do this. I forget what suplex it was, but like I was just gonna land on my neck, and I was just like, I'm not about to break my neck from someone who's wearing pajama pants.
Man, the indignity of that just. Yeah, no.
It's crazy because you say that, and then that's actually how I picture Jimmy Lloyd all the time.
I'm sure it is, and he was a great guy, and I'll work with him any day. But
he's one of those that's crazy because like I'll watch old Tournament of Deaths and you see him front row, and now he's one of the more well-known deathmatch wrestlers and big in GCW and everything like that, and it's crazy.
Right.
But that's the thing I always thought when Dave told me, he's like, I'm taking Ryan and Tommy to Philly. I was super excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. They're getting out there, they're going to learn, and they're going to do stuff like that. And then I remember asking when he came back, I was like, all right, what dojo wars you? And he goes, how'd you know we do one? I said, y'all had to have. I was like, so what is it? And he goes, I don't know when they'll air it. And then I finally saw it, and I was like, okay, this is awesome.
Yeah. That was really cool because I had heard about dojo wars before I went up there, and I was like, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. And it was a good experience. Yeah, I learned a lot, and it's not a thing anymore, I guess. But
they're trying to come back, but not really.
Okay,
they are, but not really.
yeah. But
that
was a big thing at that time. The dojo wars.
Yep,
it was really good for young wrestlers.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's how Jimmy Lloyd pretty much got started, was doing those, and then finally got called to the CZW, which the main show or whatever, and then went to GCW and everything. So yeah, there was a lot of them that came out of that.
Yeah.
Even back in the day, I think Mia Yim, that's kind of how she started, was on the early dojo wars and everything.
Yeah. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed that trip, and that drive was killer.
The drive sucked, but
we all got annoyed with each other after a while, but we got through it, and that's just what you got to do.
24 hours in a car with Dave.
I was going to say, it's like, with Dave being the prankster he is, just like I imagine that was like a nightmare.
I will say this, on the way back, we're dead tired. We're maybe 16 hours into the drive. At this point, Ryan just has headphones on. He's watching whatever. He's over it. Me and Dave put on Scott Steiner promos for legitimately the rest of the drive, and we are dying laughing. We are hallucinating. We are so tired, but we are just loving these Scott Steiner promos. That's what kept us alive, was Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner is like the next generation of Ultimate Warrior promos.
Yes. So thank you, Scott Steiner. You kept us alive. Oh my.
Okay, so you said when you started getting into wrestling and everything like that, what wrestlers did you really look up to as you were watching?
So watching like the current product at the time, big Edgehead, and that's what I mean. You said like '93 Shawn Michaels. I got a lot of comparisons to like Edge at that time, and still do to this day, which I love.
I could see that,
but yeah, definitely Edge. I mean, how could you not be a John Cena guy when you're a little kid? Just yeah, those were the big guys at the time. But as I started to like watch older wrestling and just watching everything, my favorite all time was Randy Savage. I love everything about him. He's let's see. I mean, Bret Hart is outstanding. Yeah. I love both. Sean up there too. Obviously, how could you not?
You wanna take that running chest to the turnbuckle though?
Yeah. Oh, I will. I took it to the back this past Saturday. I don't know if you remember. It was in the middle of the match, but that's a Bret Hart thing right there. Yep. Just take that and just charge all your might and just whatever.
He dies, he dies.
Well, and that was the thing. I think it's Bret Hart's book. He talked about that. How, when he did it, he ran full force back or chest, and he was like, chest always hurt less. I'm like, I don't get how It seems like there's more of a whiplash effect.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Because like I don't think I've done it in the match yet, but like I'll do it in training. Just I'll take it on the chest.
Yeah.
And you know what? Next match, I promise you.
I was gonna say I want to see it now.
If I forget, yell it out like mid-match.
I'm sure you'll hear me, and I will.
Take it on the chest.
Okay.
Let's see. Jericho's obviously a big one, which was really cool because I got to be an extra for AEW at one point, and which I don't know if we might get into, but
yeah, go ahead.
And I got to like see Jericho put together a match. It was him and Jungle Boy, and we were just by the ring, and I could literally just hear everything. It was really cool, but so I learned a lot from that. But
nice.
Let's see, Jericho. I mean, yeah, mainly he's kind of Voldemort for wrestling, but Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
This is a safe place to.
Yeah, you can't.
We do have the blanket. We recognize what he did was monstrous at the end, but they can't take away from his.
Well, and that's why I love the Heyman clip where he was doing an interview where he talked about it. He goes, "Hey, he's like, we can say it, greatest wrestler ever, one of the best in the world.
Right.
As a human, piece of shit.
Sure.
In the ring, one of the best ever.
Yeah.
And and it's true. And there's a lot. I think there's a lot of people that are like that. Like it's one of those where sometimes you don't want to know your heroes.
That takes Death of the Author to a whole new level, though.
But it's one of those where, you can always appreciate how good they are in the ring. Look at a lot of people that got called out. Phenomenal wrestlers. Yeah, they may be pieces of shit outside, but in the ring, and that's what I've always, even without wrestling, even with football. Michael Irvin was a horrible human being, but he's one of my favorite wide receivers.
Right.
Ray Lewis fucking murdered someone. But a great linebacker. It's one of those where you got to separate what they do in the ring, on the field, whatever, as opposed to what they do outside.
Right.
What was it? The Atlanta Thrasher guy, Kovalchuk, fucking drunk driver and killed someone. But a great hockey player.
Jeez,
Massive
hockey. I didn't even know that.
I think it was Kovalchuk. I may be wrong, but yeah.
He is crazy. So that could be true.
It looks like Gabe has earned himself a new nickname. He is now the Rigged Gabe Wildlord.
Rigged. Oh my god.
I love our chat.
Oh, god damn it.
I love our chat room. Seriously, I want to start a Discord just to have this all the time. Oh wait, I've got a Discord. I need to set that back up.
Yes, we do.
Going back to wrestlers you were idolizing and stuff like that. So like Ed, Sean, Benoit.
The Canadians.
Well, I was actually about to go there because it's a big joke. Like everyone thinks I'm Canadian.
It's the hockey.
Well, you like hockey. So.
Yeah. Well, and that's their number one reason.
It's either Canadian or Russian. We've already got Dimitri. So.
Yeah, and but that was a big thing. Is like Canadians sort of wrestle different, and it's a little more just kind of not like a Japanese strong style, but more just. I kind of think of it like in hockey, you have guys that just block shots and they're kind of like grinders and, like heart and soul players. And I kind of think that way for sort of those Canadian wrestlers like Bret Hart, Benoit.
Right.
I like that style where, you can see he's giving it his all and that heart and soul and just going out there and blocking shots.
Yep.
Right to the face. But, yeah, a lot of those Canadian. I mean, Eddie Guerrero. That's another one. Another Canadian. Owen Hart, obviously.
Sydney, you're Canadian?
Is she actually?
Yeah, that's what she said. I can finally be proud of being Canadian.
The fuck? Why are we just now learning that?
Because she's a 17-year-old girl and we're old men.
I guess, but we've talked to her enough and we've talked about wrestling enough, I figured.
Like I said, I'm going to get that Discord
crazy.
set back up and we'll, be able to chat more and everything like that.
But
you definitely grew, I guess somewhat grew up in the ruthless aggression era. So yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Why like Jericho, Benoit, Eddie, all those great. And even, they're like Benoit. Yeah, it was horrible on the mic, no charisma, but in the ring, he didn't need it because in the ring you could tell.
Yeah.
Which is something that's kind of complete opposite you. While you can tell what's going on in the ring and you tell a great story with your wrestling ability, you also have amazing charisma.
Oh, exactly.
Which is, it's always great to see because, you know, I have hung out with you outside of wrestling. It's very different.
Yes. Well, as you saw with the first, you know, like 30 minutes of the show, like it was all you guys. But yeah, you know, I'm a very shy guy, but you know, it's
well, no, and
which is why I'm so very grateful you're here today.
yeah. No, I'll talk about wrestling and hockey all day long. Like,
well, and I totally get that because I'm I'm the same way. Like outside, I don't talk to really anyone. But man, as soon as there's a camera in front of me, cool, I'm on.
Right.
Like it's just I don't know what it is. There's something about it. I'm like, all right, no, good.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it's off, I'm like, all right.
It's like unless you're one of his friends, he doesn't talk.
Yeah, no, I don't really talk.
Yeah. Well,
that's why I think that one time I was hanging out with you, I gravitated towards you because we both weren't talking. I'm like, so what's going on?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, we were at everybody's land.
But yeah, once so yeah, you'd think I'd be just shy and just in front of the camera and in front of the people, but I'm fully aware that it's a performance, and something happens to me where I just I have to be the center of attention when I'm out there.
So we know, obviously, you have a hockey background, and we'll obviously talk about that. But did you, like as most wrestlers, obviously have like a theater and acting background? Did you have that too, or were you all strictly just kind of sports?
Yeah, zero acting, theater, nothing. It was all sports, and like people are amazed that I don't have like a theater background, but I have no idea where it comes from. Like I'll say like one time, I guess one year I was like 17 or 18. My team used to make me do stand-up comedy. Whenever we'd go into a new city, we'd get to the hotel that first night, and they would just make me do a 45-minute stand-up session.
Wow.
And I would like
good friends.
But it's just create like they know me one way, and then like I'd be at school and like I would shut off, and it's just crazy, the two different dynamics. And then I mean it's the same thing with wrestling. I mean everyone who is backstage can see me. You know, when I'm backstage, I'm kind of I'm loving it, right? Yeah. And I love to be back there. But when I'm away, like I'm just it's like no thanks, I'm out of it.
I agree with Chris Fulmer here. He says he loves Becker has the best facial expressions during his matches. You have you're emoting during the match, the selling and everything like that is just absolutely I would have actually not thought that you didn't do any theater at all or anything like that because like I've tried to tell people, especially newer wrestlers and everything like that, 80 to 90% of acting is up here.
That's the most important part, because you got to let the audience know what you're feeling, what you're about to do, what everything like that. And I'll say when I was a kid, like I would kind of wrestle like my pillows and stuff, and I would have wrestling on the TV. I would pick somebody. So like if I was being Edge, I would be Edge, and whatever he was doing, I would do.
Nice.
So like if he was giving somebody a slam, I'd give the pillow a slam. And like every time, he'd whip his hair back and he'd give a facial expression, I would copy that facial expression. And that's that's something that really no one really tries to do.
Right.
Like young wrestlers, they just it's move, and you're done, and like.
Yeah. It's honestly one of the things we love about the MPX training center is the fact that that's what you'll get taught.
Right.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's a huge thing. And obviously, going back to a little bit. So how did hockey kind of come about into your life?
So my dad played growing up, and when he was like 12, he actually played Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was. There's this massive Quebec tournament for Pee Wee hockey. And which for Pee Wee means like it's a certain age group.
Right.
It's like I think of that. Yeah, they're 12, and so they're Pee Wees. And so
we have a new nickname for the girls. Awesome.
And he played Wayne Gretzky at that tournament, and to this day he has never told me the final score of that game. And this is the crazy part. My dad's coach at the time was Mike Ditka.
Oh wow!
What?
Yeah, I think his son played because my dad was friends with his son, and I think he was on that team. And so Ditka was their coach. I don't know why. Like, you're coaching hockey. I don't get it, but
Totally different sport.
I know. But Gretzky came into their locker room after. I don't know if this was provoked or unprovoked. He signed all their sticks. This guy's a 12-year-old, and he's already. I would hope they asked him to do that, because that is the.
It's like, I have a signed goalie stick from the San Antonio Iguanas from way back when.
Oh my!
But even that, it's like, wow. I guess he knew he was going to be the
Right?
one.
Yeah.
Ego.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
so now we know some further inspiration for Becker's character.
I'm all Wayne Gretzky.
So actually, that's one of the other questions about with your character. What started the skipping?
Oh God, I have no idea. I think I just started doing it one time. I mean, that's a lot. Honestly, that's a lot of what I do. Like, I just started doing it one time. I just think, oh, this is cool. Because like some people will think it's like a Jeff Hardy thing. No, it's not. It's because he used to do like that, and then he'd do But honestly, I have no idea. I think it was just me trying to be just a cocky, just annoying brat.
I was gonna say, I remember in the early days when y'all first started, me and Austin, we would always kind of build up like, oh, and then we wait for the kick and everything, and it was always great. And it's one of those where because it made you set aside from everyone else. Like it was something you had, which was amazing.
Well, and that was like I stopped doing it for a while, and then everyone was like, why'd you?
I was
stop?
like, no, where's my kick?
and then I started doing it again. And that's when I realized, like, oh, that kind of does set me apart. It kind of people can emulate that, and so here we are. I don't know if it's just gonna be an MPX thing or what, but because like I do it, I'm just like, oh, I'm such an idiot doing this. But if they love it, I'll keep doing it. But
that's pretty much what wrestling is, though. You always
you'll
hear that thing, and you're like, no, I still do it because, well, wrestling's all idiotic anyway. So I just do it, and if it gets over, it gets over.
Yep. And of course, one of our typical questions: what is the biggest mistake you've made that you don't regret?
Goodness, biggest mistake that I don't regret.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, mistake I don't.
Yeah, doing this show is usually one of them.
That's top one. Okay. Biggest mistake that I don't regret. Oh boy. You could just say wrestling in general. No, obviously. I love it. Let's see. Biggest mistake. I don't know. 'Cause I'm not a regretful person.
I was gonna say you're one of those that live life with no regrets.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think about that one. That's a life question. I was not prepared for life-altering questions.
Obviously, you coming back from the injury with the leg and everything like that. Is that the worst injury you've had? Not even just in wrestling, even in hockey and life.
I wasn't going to ask that question.
Was that? Well, I am kind of curious because hockey's a very violent sport, so I'm assuming you've had.
Yes, that's why the term is, "Hey, Mom, I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out."
Yep. When I was 14, I broke my collarbone. That was really the biggest one hockey-wise.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, that was pretty much it for hockey. And then this one was the biggest one by far. Most time off. What is it? 7 months, I guess.
Which I'll be honest, I was shocked you came back that quick from seeing it and then just hearing about it.
Yeah,
I was like, man.
Well, So it happened, and we have to go to the hospital, and they do this, BS.
Oh, you're
scan.
a wrestler? Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Well, they do this scan, and they're like, okay, so something's wrong,
right?
I'm like,
You're
okay,
like, yeah, I know that.
Okay, it's like, okay, we think you have a fractured fibula. We're like, okay, and it's like, you probably need surgery. It's probably like we think like 3 months, and I'm like, Okay, that's fine.
Sydney, I don't want to have to backtrack too much in the chat, so if you go ahead and ask that again, I'll write it down and we'll get to it.
All these questions. Oh boy. So yeah, they say 3 months originally, and so I'm like, okay, that's not terrible. And so the gear I'm wearing now,
Right.
that the Texas Rangers gear.
Which I love, by the way.
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing. But we had just gotten those.
Yep.
Maybe a month, and that's the one I got injured in, and so they couldn't get them off, and so they had to cut. And so I'm like, okay, hold on.
You're like, hold on.
This is new.
Right.
Does that factor into any of this?
This is new and they're expensive, FYI.
They're like, I don't think you understand. And I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. This is new. And so luckily they cut at the seam, and so I could just sew it up again.
Nice.
And so we get back home, and I get another appointment for like a week later, and they're like, yeah, not only is it a broken fibula, you got a dislocated ankle, and you have torn ligaments in your foot. And so that could be anywhere from like 6 to 8 months.
Jeez, that could have been career ending.
It could have, yeah. And and that's the exact injury that Dak Prescott had.
Yep.
I think his was a little worse. Obviously, it was more gruesome. My ankle wasn't.
No, I was going to say, his,
really
you could
glad that-
see the ankle was messed
Yeah.
up. When I watched your clip, I'm like, oh, yeah, it looks painful, but where did it? And I had to rewatch it like 5 times to finally see where the leg, I was like, oh, okay, there's where it was. Because it's something that, it's something you've done hundreds and thousands of times.
Yep.
And then it was a fluke. And it's just like, wait, I don't know what's wrong. Like, I know you were in pain because you immediately kind of rolled and grabbed. And I'm like, wait, what happened? And then I kept rewatching. I was like, oh, there it is. But it was, your ankle. I didn't even know your ankle part. I just thought it was the broken fibula.
Yeah.
I can see the chat going back up as you
It was yeah. I mean, once I landed, it felt like a piano just landed on it. Everything went numb. I'm from the leg, but oh geez, yeah, that was because you never think that could happen to you, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's, like I said, kind of something you.
Yeah, but I was in no
hold on
sound.
a moment.
Yeah.
We lost sound apparently.
Oh no.
The thing died.
Blame Tommy.
We just changed the batteries on this too. That's the weird part.
I say blame Tommy.
Okay, we got sound back. Awesome. Yeah, we saw. Thank you very much, everyone who was letting us know. Yeah, sometimes unfortunately we just we get so caught up in what we're doing we don't notice the technical stuff. But let's see. About where would it?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where they left off.
Yeah. So hey, real quick. sound.
Sky? Oh my.
Let's try this again, shall we?
Hey, it looks like we're back.
Are we?
Are we good? Everybody let me know. There we go.
Yay, we're there.
All right. So, yeah.
So yeah, being stuck in Houston was bad.
Yeah. Everybody's blaming Becker. No, it's not Becker's fault. It's just the batteries.
No,
It
again,
could
like I
be.
said,
I
it's
don't know.
It's Tommy Dean's fault.
Yeah, it's all Tommy Dean's fault.
Oh jeez. Okay. They can't hear me. Oh.
Sky brought it back. Sky, that's what happened. I mentioned Sky and it all
Yeah.
came back. But yeah, we were talking about injuries and everything like that. You know, obviously that had to be a scary time for you and everything like that.
Right. Yeah. Because we were. So yeah, as you said, it happened in Houston, and we're there, and it's just me and Ryan at this point. I mean, well, because the show's still going on.
Yeah.
And so it's just me and Ryan, and we're at the hospital. And
Did you know immediately like kind of what happened, or you just thought like, okay,
Oh,
something's wrong, or like did you know? Okay, that's broken.
Apparently it's loud again.
I'm always loud.
yeah, sure.
It's loud for you.
I.
Get out.
No,
Fair
no,
enough.
No.
Yeah. It was one of those I knew right away. Like
Yeah.
something. This is different.
Mm.
Like I said, it went numb.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk. I got up, and I was just limping around. I picked him up. I gave him a neck breaker, and I was like, "Yeah, no." I tagged Ryan out. If it was a singles match, I don't know what I would have done. But luckily, I had Ryan there. I just tagged out, and I just rolled out for the rest, and they carried on. They finished the match, and
That's one of those. It's a really good thing that the two of you know each other so well.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see. We still won, by the way. So
Yes, y'all
we
did.
still won. I just want that.
Y'all did beat Flight F.
I want that known. I want that known that we
Y'all
should be
beat Flight
we should be the new Texas Pro Champ.
Y'all should.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm on the outside, and there's fans there like asking me like, "Hey, do you need anything?" like that looks bad.
Right.
And like in my mind, because the Prescott thing had happened like maybe like 6-7 months before that, and because in my mind I'm like, okay, my ankle is facing that way. It wasn't that bad, but like in my mind in that moment, I'm like, this is something gruesome.
So you knew the ankle was already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't like terribly
Right.
bad. Like it, I mean, but just in that moment, it felt like it was facing that way. But because I had the boot on, it was still kind of upright. But yeah, we get to the back, and I remember it's super dark. I can't see anything, and Chris Bay comes up to me, the Impact.
Yep.
Chris Bay, and he's like, "Hey man, you think it's just a sprain or something?" I looked in his eyes. My ankle's facing left. And
Ankles are not supposed to bend that way, sir.
and he's like, "Oh, my bad," and he just walked away. But yeah, I mean, they took good care of me, and
I'm down, Greg.
we get to the hospital. They do everything, and I remember we're trying to get my tights off, and that's when they had to cut, and they still could barely get. Oh no! Before that, we tried getting it off, and we are almost there, and Ryan is trying to like pull it off, and he could hear the crunching.
Oh.
And
Man.
sorry about this. Viewer discretion advised. And he's like, nope.
Now everybody wishes the sound was back out.
And he's like, nope, we're gonna cut this. And so that's when we cut the seam. But yeah, that was, and then we had to drive. It was 4.5 hours back.
Yep.
I'm in this, it wasn't a cast yet, but it was just a bunch of rap. So Ryan drove the whole way home, and oh man, it was, and then it began, just the rehab and the surgery, and it's at first I was like, okay, going pretty hard for a little bit. It might be good to take a break for a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, that didn't last long. I was
Well,
Yeah.
I think that was one of the other things when I mentioned that I thought you came back too soon, because man, like I was like, I knew you were coming. I knew it was about time for the injury to be healed. I'm like, okay, Rumble surprise. This will be great. This will be awesome. And I remember mentioning, I think it was Jamie. I was like, hey, so he's ready for Rumble, right? And he goes, no, that motherfucker's ready now. He's like, he's chomping at the bit. He wants now. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like everyone we asked other than that was like, no, we don't know. February, maybe March.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So I don't even remember when I started walking. I went back to training. And I mean, I wasn't like training. I was just seeing what I can do. Like, I mean, I was my first session back. I did a roll. I mean, that was all I could do. I came back too early, but I was just doing rolls at that point. I wasn't like pushing.
Yeah.
And I was ready by, I want to say, early December, maybe late November.
Jinx is backing you up on this.
I was gonna say, I think that was when I asked Jamie. It was around November or something when he did that one-off with Baby D where we interviewed him. I was like, hey, so how's Tommy doing? Oh, he wants to come back. I'm like, oh, it's too soon. Rumble. And he goes, no, he wants now.
And that's when I started having conversations with Richard about coming back. And he was like, cool, Rumble surprise. I was like, no. I was like, I need to, oh, Jesus. Okay, hold on. Second favorite?
Seriously.
I think the favorite's always, was it Red or Tatum? I can't remember with Kelsey.
Kelsey
is Red or Tatum, and then Sydney's Tatum or Red. Like they go.
Sydney's Tatum, Kelsey is Red.
There we go.
I remember because I remember the Halloween costumes.
There we go.
One thing I'll say about that is like I came back for Ryan's match.
Yes.
And I came out.
That was a huge thing.
And I didn't expect that. Which is why I was in flip flops. I wasn't gonna go out there, but they were like, "Hey, why don't we?"
Yeah, y'all are here. Go ahead. It's a special moment.
He's about to, step away for a bit.
Right?
Go be part of that.
Well, so Jamie was there, and he saw me in flip flops, and he's a classic guy. And once he saw me in flip flops, he got so mad at me. He was like we're going out there, right? He was like,
no, I didn't.
No, I didn't. He was like, why are you in flip flops? And so I eventually came up with the excuse of like, hey, my foot is still kind of swollen, so I can't wear socks right now. And he was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh,
that worked. Oh, thank God.
And so I went out there, and at this point, I'm still kind of down because like at this point, when was that? I don't know if you remember. When was that match?
That was September-ish, wasn't it?
Yeah, because at this point, I got injured May 29th. So pretty much beginning June. That had been a while at that point. I was just like, come on at this point. And so I went out there, and like I got a pretty strong reaction. I was like, oh, okay. And then afterwards out, and she had that sign for me. Yeah. I was like, oh my God. And then she had a bracelet for me, and I was like, oh my God. And that honestly like helped me like oh my God, they still care. Yep. And so thank you for doing that. That was it helped me more than you know. But yeah, that was I don't even remember what my original point was. I go on tangents. I don't know. What was I? Oh, I guess like when I was coming back.
Right.
Yeah, that it was Christmas Day, right? When I came out. Yeah. Man, that building up to that day, I was a nervous wreck.
Yes.
My first match back against Sebastian, I was fine.
Yeah.
I felt like I had done that 1,000 times. I was perfectly fine.
I think that was the thing that took me by surprise. Was it didn't? I mean, it shouldn't take me by surprise because of how good you are, but you didn't miss a beat. Like it was like you hadn't been gone at all.
Oh, well, thank you.
Like there was no hesitation. There was no, oh, is he gonna be worried about his leg or whatever? No, it was literally every time. This is the time. Like this is the Tommy Becker we've seen all along. Like there was nothing missing at all, and I was really, really shocked by that of how. Because you see some wrestlers, even Edge just talked about it when he came back from his Achilles. He's like, yeah, there was He was like, I was hesitant, I was distant, I wasn't sure if I could do it and stuff like that. And then with you, there didn't seem like anything at all. It's just like, no, go.
Yeah.
And it was great.
And I thought I would have that all throughout the process of rehab and stuff. I thought I would, when I come back, I might be hesitant. I might, not do everything I used to. And, once I was in training and just kind of getting everything back, I was just like, you know what, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And then going into any of my matches now, I can't have fear. Like
Right.
I can't think about going into that like, oh man, I got to protect my ankle. Like,
Well, and that was the thing. I at least when I played football, what I was coached is like you can never worry about fear. You can never have fear. You run full force. Don't
Right.
ever worry about the other person coming at you. Don't worry about what you're going through. Just go. You
Right.
can have no fear. And I've always thought the same about wrestling. It's like, no, there's no fear. You just go.
right. And I mean, I if I have fear, like I'm also putting, the person I'm working with in danger. Like,
Yep.
so I just have to be full throttle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One of the questions that we got asked, and it's been asked a couple of times, how does it feel going from heel to face, and which one do you actually prefer?
Right now, like in the moment, I feel pretty good about being face. Like I did not think I would, because like I prefer heel. Because I mean that's pretty much all I've done so far. I mean I had a brief face run.
Yeah.
For a little bit, and looking back, like I don't think I was that comfortable being a face, and even now, like it's still not a shock, but it's just a little different.
Yeah.
And I think I'm still like growing into it. But I thought like this past Saturday, I thought I felt pretty well about like getting emotion and just selling when I need to, and just showing that fight. And I felt pretty good, and it's different. Like
Yeah.
I love being a heel, because I mean you can do whatever you want. But and that's another thing, I wanted to come back as face because I wanted the challenge.
Yeah.
I wanted to do something else and improve. I want to improve in every aspect of wrestling.
Right.
And so I felt I needed work being a face, and here I am, and I feel like I'm improving.
Yes,
by
I
every
think
match.
so.
And obviously, the addicts are behind you on this.
With obviously with the change, because you and Ryan have been a team for so long. And I've said it before, I think a lot of people are going to be shocked when you do go single, because we had the small single run when you had the title and everything, but it was kind of still overshadowed by Larger Than Life and Creative Control and everything like that.
Right.
When you heard Ryan was kind of stepping away, and that when you were coming back, you're like, okay, I'm a singles guy now. What was the kind of mindset through that? Or have you always looked at it as like, no, I'm the star, I'm still going to be just me?
I mean, at first it was a shock, and so I had to get over that initial like, okay, well, here we go, it's just me. But I mean, I got into wrestling thinking I was going to be a singles guy. And then Ryan came along, and like I never even thought about tag team wrestling,
Right.
getting into this. And then Ryan came along, and like
Y'all dominated the last 4 years.
Yeah.
and that was all I
gonna
knew.
say, y'all were one of the top tag teams in the history of MPX, if not the state of Texas. So.
The greatest unsigned tag team
Yep.
in the world.
Exactly.
Sid actually wants to know, do you have any ideas for future merch? Do you have plans for future merch?
Yes, I am working on getting merch. I've never been a merch guy. You probably know this, but I mean, I don't know what that is. Like I just like to focus on performing and stuff.
Right.
But
Jamie will figure out the merch everyone.
talk to my but no, I definitely I have some stuff in the works. Yeah.
Just take my money.
like do you need merch in return? I'll take money. But no, you will definitely see merch in the future. I don't have a timeline or anything. I got a logo, but so we're in the process.
Yep.
Nice.
So yeah, on the way. Don't worry.
Speaking of, what is your entrance music? I
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
been able to get
What?
anything.
Yeah, it's like I do the playlist and everything like that, and I have looked for that version.
What, Larger Than Life?
Of Larger Than Life.
It's Ready Set Steroids, isn't it?
This one is.
I think so. Isn't
Okay,
it?
I couldn't find the last one. I know.
At least that's the one I have on my phone that I thought came from them.
We'll see.
I mean, I'll tell you this. I'm looking for it too.
I thought it was Ready Set Steroids was the name of the band. And I thought it was their cover of Large in Life. I guess I might be wrong, but
We'll see.
I thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
I think that was all Jamie. I think
Yeah.
he's the one who knows.
Gabe wants to know, who do you want to face that you haven't faced yet? I think I know who he's spoiling for.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, look at this. Look at 2 more.
All the question marks.
Gaby, here's the thing. You look like you chop hard. I don't want any part of that.
This man got in the business off Baby D chops. He doesn't want any more.
let me just say the first
They are pretty painful. Yeah.
they are the first Rumble I was in. I don't remember 2017.
I think so.
Oh, you got the welcome to wrestling.
Yes, he
I got
did.
the welcome.
Yes, he did.
It was,
He got Daniel Pewtered.
and I didn't even do anything wrong. It was Tadlock
Oh fuck!
and Murdoch.
Oh, that's just.
They found a corner, an empty corner, any corner. Oh God!
He's having
Flashbacks are happening.
And they went to town on my chest. I lost count at 1.
This is one of the reasons I stopped training. I don't want this spot ever.
And I even said, I was like, before Red, this man had the most choppable chest in wrestling.
Oh God. Jackson actually told me that the other day. he was like, yeah, Tommy has the most choppable chest. I was like, and don't let Jackson chop you.
Yeah.
If any other wrestlers, don't let Jackson chop you. Don't let Baby D chop you. There's a bunch of other people. But
Thunder
Chops
Rosa
hurt.
told her.
Don't let Thunder Rosa hit you.
There was a time, and it was the DCW days, but man, it was Thunder Rosa, Baby D, and Lacey Ryan, who's now known as Zoe Stark. They were the 3 hardest choppers I've ever seen live.
Yep.
And I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, and again, it's no disrespect to Jackson or whoever else. Those 3 women I put up there against fucking Walter. Like, their chops are fucking deadly.
Mm-hmm. Don't you mean Gunther?
Oh, shut the fuck up. I do not acknowledge that name.
Hey, it took me forever.
Especially since they use Stark when they already have. Never mind. I'm not getting into it. Fuck that bullshit.
Oh no.
It's okay. I never really got really comfortable with calling Killian Dane because to me he was always Big Damo. So
Yeah.
But oh yeah, I guess we went on a chop tangent.
Yeah. No.
Who I'd like to face? Okay, Gabe, I'd like to face you. Okay.
Which the boys fought Larger Than Life.
Oh, we did. Oh, yeah.
That was actually how
That
they
was
got
their,
introduced to MP.
That was their
'cause
first.
y'all
Yeah.
were- That was during the we are not facing anybody who's already gone for the title.
That was a fun match.
That was
but,
actually a really good setup too, because y'all that lets y'all take on and exhibit so many different teams.
Yeah.
It also let Ryan get his aggression out during one match.
Yeah.
Corona.
Oh, Los Carnalas.
Oh yeah.
That was the only time I've ever seen Ryan lose his cool. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh, the only time.
No, for me, that's the only time I remember seeing Ryan lose his cool. I'm like, Ryan's pissed.
Oh my goodness.
Ryan's pissed enough that Tommy just tagged in and told him to take a breath.
Oh god. Yeah. There are times I had to just let Ryan after a match just I had to be a security for people for people trying to like calm him down and like people trying to be like, hey man, like what's wrong?
Do not attempt to extinguish this fire.
Hey. Just let him be. He'll be back in 10 minutes.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Let him go.
Yeah, there'd be times in the match Ryan would just Marcus Rose comes to mind. Which we love Marcus and Ace. I wrestled Ace the other day, other week or shit. I don't know if you guys remember that sort of feud.
Yeah, when they actually won the titles from you for like a week.
The so good, so hood.
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah, but yeah, him and Marcus got into it a little bit.
Wow.
Mid-match.
Let's go back and watch.
I was
that
gonna
one.
say now I gotta look for it because I've never noticed Ryan lose goal. I was like, oh, Ryan's
But
the most cool person.
that made that I think that made that match.
Yeah, probably.
That was really fun. But yeah.
Favorite Scott Steiner quote or promo?
Oh
Oh, it
goodness.
has to be the math, right?
That's probably the most recognizable one.
Right.
I can't even think of like a singular quote, but because none of them are coherent enough.
It's like asking, it's like Ultimate Warrior, which the spirits are watching. Or
I was gonna say it's the WrestleMania 6 one.
But
The one that Christian on the DVD, Self Destruction Warrior, Christian did mimicked beautifully without a fucking like they handed him a script. He goes, "No, I got it," and he fucking did it word for word. I'm like, "Holy shit!"
oh jeez. I think because I think at one point I cut a promo and I was like, I started talking about Becker math. That may have been like relatively behind the time that we watched those clips. I was like, I had Scott Steiner on the mind, and but yeah, I can't think of a quote. but yeah, the math one is the one I can most remember. But
I love that one, and I think it was also around the same time in TNA where he just goes, "Joe, you're fat."
that one was.
I was like, "Oh my god," because it's Mayhem Mafia just sitting in a locker room, and you just hear Steiner, "He's fat," and everyone just looks back at him. I'm like, "What the fuck are you yelling for?"
Yeah. So I mean, there's like a highlight video of just his like most outrageous clips, and that's what we were watching. So if you go watch that, and you'll know what we were going through, and just pick one of those. Well, yeah, those are the best.
Along with you playing hockey and everything, did you do anything else, or was it all just like did you do football, basketball, baseball, or was it all just hockey?
Let's see. So over everything, it was hockey.
Yeah.
From ages like I started playing at 4,
Right.
all the way to 19, and through that, I played like little league baseball, like 2 years maybe, and I played football 1 year in middle school, and I went to Allen, and I was, I think, a year ahead of Kyler Murray.
Oh.
We were in a class together. I forget the class. It was some like home ec or something. But, so I played football 1 year, but yeah, it was all hockey. That was what consumed me.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, I probably could have gone farther if it wasn't for wrestling.
I was gonna say, I think it was Dimitri that said, he's like, no, Tommy could have been something.
But yeah, I just had wrestling in the back of my mind, and I instead of training, sometimes I would just watch wrestling, and and so that probably derailed me in hockey. But I'm fine with it. Because this is what I ultimately want to be.
Right.
So yeah.
That actually leads into another question of what do you want? I know when you and Larger Than Life was still together, y'all were looking to try and get on one of the big shows and everything like that. Is that still a goal for you?
Absolutely. That is the goal. It's getting there's not too many spots right now. It's a little clogged up, and so, but
Heck, one of them's ejecting talent still.
yeah, but yeah, that's ultimately where I want to be. Is just on TV, signed, and just living the dream. That's ultimately what I'm working towards, and I feel confident. I don't know. I believe in myself.
And as well as you should. Taking an MPX out of it, who's someone that you want to face, like kind of bigger independent or even on TV right now that you're like, man, I really want to work with this person?
Right now, I'd love to work with Mike Bennett. He was there a lot of the times we were at New Texas.
Yes,
and he's a great guy. He's
he is
a great leader. I mean,
Yeah, he kind of got shafted in the E.
I loved his theme though.
Yes.
That's it's still amazing.
The
But,
power of love.
let's see.
No, that was the thing that kind of shocked me when I met him, is just how cool he was.
Oh,
and then his match with Brian Keith at New Texas was amazing.
Right.
So yeah, that was one that it did kind of shock me. Like, I always liked him in Ring of Honor. Yeah, WWE was different, but I was like, oh, he's always talented.
Right.
And then just talking to him and me, I was like, oh no, you're actually cool.
Yeah.
Because again, you never know. Like with wrestling, you never know like how they are and stuff like
for
that.
sure.
So meeting him was really cool. And then also, yeah, that match with Brian Keith was really good at New Texas.
Let's see. Oh goodness, I'm trying to think of like big indie names right now. At the time, we were really trying to get the besties in the world.
Yes.
To have a tag match, but even like both of them as single would just be amazing.
Yeah.
They're on their own. They're both just outstanding, and obviously I would love that. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'd love Chris Bay.
Yeah.
He's outstanding. Trying to think of other indie names. Trying to think of who would mesh well with me. On like people that are signed, I think. I love a match. We had like a 6-man at DCW, but I'd love to face Sammy Guevara.
Yep.
We had that 6-man at DCW. that was wild. But
that wasn't the one where your head got caught, right?
Head got caught. Oh no, not that one.
Okay, yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
That one, that was one I was fearful. Like, I immediately messaged him. I was like, "Is he okay?" He's like, "Yeah, he's fine. He just got knocked a little loopy." I'm like, "Oh fuck," because it looked horrible.
Because their ropes are just like bouncing up and down.
Yeah, no, they were. Yeah,
when no one's even moving, and so I do like a mirror spot where someone hits the ropes and you hit them right behind.
Yep.
And so they're already going crazy like this, and so I'm trying to grab the top rope. And the top rope goes over my head, and so I'm trying to bounce back, and it just goes boom.
Yep.
I mean, I'm surprised I didn't break my nose.
Jeez.
But
I was shocked you weren't concussed. I was like, "Is he okay?" And Jamie's like, "Yeah, no, he's fine." I'm like, "Okay, good," because it looked bad. Like it looked like it actually knocked him the fuck out.
Oh yeah. I mean, just like Texas people, like Aaron Mercer, we've never maybe like a triple threat tag when he was with RJ.
Yeah,
I don't know what team they were called, but Aaron Mercer is someone I'd love to work with. I mean, even like people I've worked with before, I feel like I'm just more mature now and just like I can do better matches. I know you guys were at the tournament for New Texas. I mean, I
was gonna say I sang your praises the whole time. That's where you came out with the most athletic man. Because every match you did was like fucking 5 stars. Like you went in there. What was it, Gino? Jackson.
Gino.
I was like, holy shit! Every match you had was amazing.
Mysterious Q. Oh, well, thank you. But I'd love another shot with those guys because like that was just a tough environment to have. Because I mean, crowd was light, and because that was like kind of like peak COVID,
right?
Yeah.
And so
we got to go to that is amazing at all.
Probably shouldn't have even been running a show. But I mean, it's a tournament. And it's pretty much supposed to be after the G1 with New Japan. And so you're going in expecting these crazy just mano-a-mano matches. And that's what we tried to go for. The issue is that for me, I had 3 matches that one night.
Yes.
And so you have one match. There was a match in between. And then you're going right back out. And so you can't really like have this like grand big match,
and it's tape, so you have to show no effects to your first match. You have to go out there acting like you're fresh.
That was so. Baby D was there, and she used to do me and Ryan's hair. Yeah. Whenever we used to do these crazy like I would have like Princess Leia hair. Like she would make all our hair like that. She was the one who did that, and
oh yeah, because that's where you also debuted the jacket, like all the the bird, pretty much. It's Ryan's anti-bird.
Oh my god, yeah. So that was a crazy. So I'd have one match, come to the back. I'm trying to talk to the person I'm about to work with while she's doing my hair. I'm trying to still like breathe from having the match. I mean, it was a mess, but I mean, it was the best we could do, like, because doing a tournament on the Indies is tough enough.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it with COVID and everything, like that was so. I mean, we got the job done, but which I think did they have a finish to that tournament?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay,
they eventually did at New Texas. I think it was Gino and Mercer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But no, it was one of those where you, if I remember correctly from the tapings, you had the most matches. I think, like as far as like tournament competitors, where like you had 5, I think. While others did like 4.
Yeah.
And that was the thing where I tell people all the time, I was like, go to Independent Wrestling TV, watch the New Tex Grand Prix, the first one, because Tommy killed it. Every match was fucking phenomenal in everything he did. And that's where we kind of coined the most athletic man, because everything you were doing in that match, from the Gino, from Mysterious Q, from Jackson, whoever, everything was just great. And that's when I really decided, I was like, man, I've loved them as a tag team. I want them separate. Because Tommy, not that he's getting shadowed, but you can see more when he's by himself.
Right.
And you can see how good he actually is. You know he's good in a tag. You can see how good he is singly. And those matches were some of my favorites.
Well, thank you. And that's the thing. Like for the past, 3-4 years, I've just done tags, and you can only see like half or even like a quarter of what I can do, right? Because it's you got 4 people involved.
Yep.
And so, I feel like now, like I'm starting to, I feel like I'm about to go on like the run of my life.
Yes.
I feel really good. I was kind of mad, like I have new boots coming in. I hate like. Brent always makes fun of me. A lot of people make fun of me for the boots I have now, because they're like boxing boots. I don't know what they are,
but they're not the furry boots anymore.
Yeah. I had to stop that because like, after every match, you would know I was out there because they were going everywhere, all the feathers and everything. And then like everyone would be like, "Oh, Tyler Breeze." I'd be like, "Okay, I'm stopping this." And then
I just called you a Muppet Skinner.
oh god, yeah. But so I got new boots coming in, and I thought they were going to be here before match 1. Not going to be the case, but yeah, I just couldn't wait any longer. But yeah, so I saw some Chandler. Me and Chandler, we've wrestled so many times, and like. Yeah, we have amazing chemistry, and I would love to do it again. Because like I said, like I was in like tag team mode for all those years.
Yeah.
Where like I almost forgot like how to be a singles guy. And so now that I'm a singles guy full time, like I feel a little different, and I feel like I can show more.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. I would love to have matches with everyone I've already wrestled, and
just so you can show what you can actually do.
Yeah,
because there's like kind of like you're saying, there's a revitalization. There's like there's a different fire.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, still got time. Okay, so Casey has asked this a few times. What is your least favorite match?
Oh, Jesus.
Tommy Becker, Casey Clay 1.
Yeah, definitely not.
It's all of Casey matches because I have to work with Casey. Human piece of garbage. Anywho, no, I mean a couple come to mind. I'm not trying to bash anyone, so like bear with me. But
Spider.
That's the given answer.
Yeah, that's the given answer on any of it.
No one even knows who he is, but it's a given answer.
I'm gonna look him up one day just to find out.
Kirby makes fun of me all the time. He brings this match up all the time. But me and Ryan, again, it was a triple threat tag match. We were in Corpus Christi.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Ryan against Aaron Mercer and RJ. It has nothing to do with Aaron and RJ. Against the third team, their team name's Wada Team. Again, no, I'm not bad. I'm not trying to bash them, but they have Whataburger gear.
Oh, you need
And
to go up against Dexter.
Oh my god.
it was just so me and Ryan both are on the outside. Other two guys start the match. Nothing's happening. I mean, a minute straight, they're like doing whatever. They're starting slow, and we're just like, we need to do something. I start running back and forth on the apron, trying to do something to get the crowd to do anything. I mean, I'm blown up at this point, and I am like, me and Ryan are just trying to make everyone laugh, and we get Mercer to laugh at one point, and I can't really describe what was bad about it. It was just nothing was happening. I'll give you one more, and this one might be the worst. Do you guys remember the Amazing Raisins? I'm not going to reveal any identities of who they are, but we have a match. I forget the promotion, but it was in Irving. And me and Ryan against the Amazing Raisins. And in this match, they make us eat prunes.
Oh.
And
Oh no.
they start making us sell our asses. And at one point, I'm on the outside with Ryan. We got prunes in our mouth. I get it out. I shove it under the ring. I looked at him and I was like, what are we doing? Get us out of this match.
And the two of you have done some goofy stuff, but that's beyond the pale.
There's Goofy, and then there's just...
And then there's just that.
Yeah.
I am so lucky that Jamie was not there.
Oh,
He would have stopped the match and had us run out the building.
Yes.
So yeah, that
Get y'all
one.
DQ'd and just get the hell out of there.
I mean, there was another time I faced Brent in a Mexican restaurant. He shoved a tortilla in my mouth. But that was a fun event. I just want to get that out there. He shoved a tortilla in my mouth, gave me the black hole 1, 2, 3. It was
Nice.
so yeah,
geez.
that sticks out.
Okay, well, and let's
There
go with
was-
the opposite on that real quick. What's your favorite match?
I mean, maybe not my favorite, but I really love my one this past Saturday. It just it sticks out because like it's my first big match coming back, so that one really sticks out. Favorite might have to be me and Barrett Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to pick which one. We had two. One was in Louisiana or Mississippi. Mississippi. The other one was in his hometown of Wills Point. I probably like that Wills Point one better because it's his hometown. Everyone loved him.
We got easy heat.
Yes, yeah. I will say, Bear. We opened the show. He had not made his entrance yet. I was the first entrance. The second I had the fur vest, the second I stepped out, they started booing. They didn't know who my opponent was. They didn't know I was facing Barrett. It wasn't announced or anything. I was just like, I didn't do anything yet.
It's the Gorgeous George effect.
That's you hating me for me. You just hate me because how I look. But yeah, that match really sticks out, and I love Barrett. So
Awesome.
yeah.
There was a question earlier, and it is something that a lot of addicts actually talk about: your hair. Like everyone says you have like one of the best hairs and everything like that in wrestling. And everything like that.
Sure.
One of the question was, how long did you like start growing it out? When did you do the long hair, everything like that?
So once I started wrestling in late 2016, right before that was the last time I cut my hair. I trimmed it just before I came back now, but that was the first time I trimmed it since like 2016.
Wow.
So it was, I mean, yeah, we probably saw like before I got hurt, it was down to my ass.
Yeah.
It was a little too much. So I needed to trim it a little bit, but yeah, I never really like saw myself as a long hair guy, but I never cut it. When I started wrestling, I was just like, whatever, I'll just keep it going. And then, it started I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
So are you ever planning to get the older Canadian cut? You know, to go from the long hair to the kind of frosted
Short,
tips almost.
Oh, jeez. Well, it was funny. Like when I was out, I really, really heavily considered going short hair.
Ryan
did. He did. Well, and that's the thing. We were gonna do it together, and then I just never did it. Well, I think he was gonna do it no matter what. But like, I was like, yeah.
You saw him do it, and you're like, oh yeah, no, I'm good.
I was like, yeah, Ryan, let's do it. Like, let's do it. And then he did it. I was like, oh, you did it.
Sydney wants to know how often it gets tugged or stepped on, because she always gets hers stepped on, and she's not even a wrestler, and it's not even that long.
Sydney, I'll tell you, this is the worst. In a match,
I did this for a reason.
Yeah. In a match, it gets stepped on. I mean, the pulling part. I mean, whatever. It's part of wrestling. Like they pull it, you bump, whatever. But the stepping, like in training, we do like back rolls. I'll back roll, and my fists will get it, and so I started like tucking it into my shirt. I can't do that obviously in a match, but. Yeah, the amount of times I have had my fist like just leave hair on the mat in a match. I mean, I started to wet my hair now, but before, it would like get in my mouth, and like a lot of times when I do that elbow, like the love the Becker elbow, I would go up to shout out. And it would just be in my mouth, and I was like, we have to end this now. I'm about to die. So yeah, it's a mess, but like yeah, I love long hair, but it's all good.
Okay, and we're actually at about time, so thank you very much for joining us, and this was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was.
Got to admit, this is one that ever since he and I started doing the podcast, we were like, we've got to get Tommy on here.
Yeah.
Tommy and Ryan and everybody, because so it was a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Oh no, this was fun.
Because it is one of those. It's like for me, I have two MPX. I have the old building and the new building, and as far as the old building, there was a lot of favorites like Jerome and stuff like that. But then the new building, you and Ryan, I like immediately gravitated towards. So this was awesome. So thank you for that.
Yeah, goodbye. This was fun.
But yeah, make sure you get your tickets for this weekend, because it's going to be a really awesome show with the tag team tournament and everything like that. Make sure you get your season pass for February and click that button if they're still available for front row seats. And if
for the Texas Rumble.
Yeah, and a bit of a shameless plug. If you want to give me some pity views on Certified Mark Gaming, that page is up, and I've got my first video on there and everything. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it kayfabe.
See y'all next Saturday.
Mark out.
Hi. Yeah. Thank you so much. This was awesome. Because like when I asked you, I was like, I know you don't want to do this often, but are you okay doing it?
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, it'll be fun. I was like, oh sweet, he's actually into it.
No, that was a good time.
Yes.
Awesome. I mean, I'm sure we didn't even get to like half of what you guys had planned question-wise.
Oh,
or
no. There's never really any actual plan.
Okay. It was like long-winded
we have
answers.
the questions to try and fill, empty space in the talking and everything like that. But other than that, no. The whole idea is just talk.
Yeah.
Tell your stories. Let the fans get to know who you are, and see you as how you want them to, and everything like that.
I don't know what.
Thing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Of course he is.
Jeez.
At least Tommy Dean didn't have you chug stuff.
Oh.